Hello everyone. So a bit different video today. On this channel I think I've made few videos, not really a lot, but few videos where I have shared my experience and at the same time tried to help people who are moving to the UK for maybe short term and mainly for living here. And in this video I actually want to talk about SIM cards. And I'm making this video because someone actually asked me this question, and I do have my experience which I can share. Now, if you're moving to UK, let us say for work, so it seems like you want to, of course, stay here for a while. And if you are coming from India, then I'm sure, and this video, it is definitely at the same time applicable to any other country, but of course my experience is from India. So if you're coming from India, then I'm sure you rely on your SIM. You have your, of course, number, and you need your number at least initially, right? Or I should say, to be honest, as long as you are here. So let us say if you're here in the UK for maybe 2 years, then most likely you will be looking for a job. If you're here on a skilled worker visa, then you will stay here for uh, maybe 3 years, 5 years, even longer. So basically, you're looking for like a proper solution when it comes to SIM cards. Now, when it comes to SIM cards, you of course need your OTP. That is of course the most important thing. Basically, if you have any Indian account, then your OTPs will come to your registered Indian mobile number. So you need that, and it is actually very important. Without OTP, you can't really make any transaction in your bank. The other thing is definitely your Aadhaar card. If you have an Aadhaar card, then which I'm sure you will have an Aadhaar card at least in 2023, then you need OTPs. And this Aadhaar card is or this number linked to your Aadhaar card is extremely important because you need it at several places, right? For example, if you have a company in India, then if you're trying to register or renewing your digital signature, then you need the OTP that will come to your Aadhaar card. So basically, this is important. And without these things, without OTP, without uh, uh, OTP for bank and Aadhaar card, and of course, I'm sure other services, you can't really have a normal life. You need this, and it is of course a bit problematic, and that is why you need to keep your number. And I will talk about the other alternatives as well. Uh, but first, let us talk about the number. So, from my experience, and of course, by talking to other people, I think Vodafone number works the best because I have been using Vodafone number, and of course, I don't really use that number to receive calls or to make calls, but only to receive OTPs. And it has been 7 years. I'm using the same SIM, and for a majority of those 7 years, my Indian SIM was actually up, or basically it was active. And what I do, and what I have been doing without fail, which I believe you should also do without fail, you should keep a reminder to uh, basically recharge it every month. If you have a prepaid, then recharge it. If you have postpaid, I guess pay the bill. Basically, keep the number active. And because there is Vodafone here in the UK as well. So I guess, although it is not, I don't really have a lot of experience of other operators. Although when I came to the UK, I also had Airtel SIM, and I remember it didn't really work all the time. So Vodafone works because it has been working for 7 years without fail. So if you are in India, and of course talk to other people, but at the same time, if you're coming to the UK, if you don't really have a Vodafone number, or if you want to port your number to Vodafone, or if you're thinking of doing it, consider it. And talking about roaming, of course, don't bother any. Don't really think about any international pack, because I don't really think it doesn't really make any sense to receive calls or make calls, at least for me. Although when I came to the UK, I was still receiving phone calls, but and I was of course running a company, so it was actually a bit problematic. But I was still able to manage it using WhatsApp, and WhatsApp has been there for I think it has been I think WhatsApp, everyone is now using WhatsApp, but I think for the last 7-8 years people have been using it. So consider Vodafone. Of course, I'm not really recommending them. I'm just sharing my experience because my SIM always worked. For example, if I need an OTP and I am looking for that code, I know for sure I will get it. I think in the last 7 years, when I was dealing with some uh, because OTP works for most of the times, but it didn't really work for me for digital signature or few things. I think some company related stuff, like so, and it happened only once, and that was not really the problem of the mobile itself or the operator, but maybe something to do with that government website not being able to send messages outside India. I don't know, but for 99.9% of cases, Vodafone SIM, prepaid SIM worked for me. I just recharged it every month. I have been doing it for literally 7 years, and uh, to be honest, right now, the only reason I still have the Indian number is only for Aadhaar card, because for my bank accounts, I got them converted to NRO accounts, and I think you should also do that if you know for sure you will be living outside India for a long time, and if you think you are an NRI, or maybe if you want to declare it, because when you have the NRO account, you will have the option to, of course, choose the international number, basically the UK number. But for Aadhaar card, I don't really think it is even a possibility. You need to use an Indian SIM card, Indian number, and I think apart from that, I think everything has been working fine. I don't really have the UI. I don't know what you call it, because of course we have Paytm. I know Paytm is not really for NRIs. Based on my information, and if you're still using Paytm, which I'm sure you would be, if you're coming to the UK in 2023, then of course you need Indian SIM card as well, because Paytm will occasionally send you messages, and don't worry about like whether your number will work or not work. It will work for sure. At least the Vodafone number will work, because I have been using it for literally 7 years without fail. I have like one mobile with that number, and I use only that number for OTP. And when I, of course, move to not move, but when I travel to India, that number works. The moment I land in Delhi, I just turn on that number and it works. And of course, now I recharge it with a proper pack so that I can also make calls while I'm in India. But for Paytm, you need an Indian number. For Aadhaar, you need Indian number, and I'm sure for a couple of others, I think UIP. I don't know what you call it. That thing that is very common these days. I don't have it. NRIs don't really have the option to do it. And I think in the next, I think I heard somewhere or read somewhere that if you don't really have Indian number, you can do that. UIP, UID, I don't know what you call it. I have no idea. I tried to enable it, but it didn't work for me. Because when you are using Paytm, you have the option to link it to your Indian bank account. I don't really recommend doing it for safety reasons, of course, but at the same time, for everything else, if you have an Indian number, Indian mobile number, you will have to keep it active for some time, or maybe for a few years for sure, while you're here in the UK. All right, that is it. That is all I wanted to talk about and share my experience, and I hope you found this video useful and you learned something new. Thank you very much.